You can hear the bells in the background?
No. There we're live.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is a call to order of the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commission on Tuesday, May 18th, 2021. Deborah, can you call the roll?
Yeah, I think I need to mute everybody.
This is a call to order of the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commission on Tuesday, May 18th, 2021. You want me to call the roll? Or are we still waiting for you?
No, I will call the roll.
Okay.
Chair Willard Evans.
Present.
Vice Chair Beryl Rabinowitz.
Here.
Commissioner Helene Levine.
Present.
Commissioner Nicole Pottis.
Here.
Commissioner Bruce Rotner.
Thankfully present.
It's fantastic.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting is being held virtually. The meeting can be viewed on Skokie Vision cable channel 17 on Comcast and 25 on RCN, or via the Village's YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/user/The Village of Skokie. Members of the public who wish to comment as to an item on the published agenda must submit their statement or question in writing to Deborah Stinson at deborah.stinson@skokie.org. All properly submitted statements or questions will be presented and read during the relevant portion of the meeting. Written comments may also be submitted by email to citizenscomments@skokie.org, by mail to the Village of Skokie, attention Deborah Stinson, 5127 Oakton Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60077, or via the Village's Dropbox located near the public entry to Village Hall. Our first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the April 19th, 2021 regular meeting. Is there any changes or amendments to the minutes? Is there any changes or amendment to the minutes? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
So Bruce moved and Burl seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The minutes are approved. So you know what, can I do that again? Because I didn't hear Nicole or Helene.
Yes, I approve them. I approve.
Okay, there you go. I hear you now. I didn't hear you before. Just for the record. Our first item on our agenda is a memorandum from our fire chief announcing the resignation of firefighter Nicholas Chisholm. Somebody's dog is barking. Are there any questions for the chief?
Yes. I was wondering what was in Hinsdale that seemed so magnificent, or his dream, just out of curiosity.
So yeah, oddly, he actually wanted to move to a smaller department. He expressed that he just felt that it'd be a better fit for him. His best friend happens to work for Hinsdale as well. And he thought it would be neat to go through his career together with his best friend. So he was very complimentary of all the personnel that he worked with, and appreciative of the training he received while here. And obviously we're sorry to see him go, but we wish him well.
absolutely. Thank you.
How long was he on the force?
He had just completed his probationary period, so not that long.
It's hard to make so much time and investment and then it's gone.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Our next item on the agenda is old business. Our police officer lateral. Do we have to vote on the memorandum?
I believe you should.
I think we should, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I move we accept the resignation of this officer.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion is approved. Next, under old business, we have the police officer lateral entry process. Chief.
All right, so last month, I think we talked about the fact that we were going to try to get through the lateral applicants and the pre-screening by the police department. I'm happy to report that we did do that. We ended up with 14 total applications that were forwarded to us by iOS Solutions. They're the ones that handle the advertisement process and receive all the applications, and then they make sure that those people meet their requirements before they send them on to us. Out of those 14, we actually caught a couple mistakes and people that were still through the process or were sent through that didn't qualify. So that went down to, I think it was 11. And then we administered the power test, the physical fitness test. One person had already done it and had a power card, the same process that new recruits go through. Everybody passed that. There was one individual that had knee surgery in the not too distant past. He opted to not take the power test, and so he was let out of the process. So in the end, we ended up interviewing 9 individuals. Every single one of them was from the Chicago Police Department. And out of the 9, we scored and recommended that 8 proceed in the process. A memo detailing all of this was sent over to Deborah Stinson. So she has that, and I assume that'll be forwarded on for the next meeting of the board. And that's kind of where we're at. I think the process went really well from my perspective for this step, the first time doing it. I think the 8, hopefully we get to, get some openings and we get to hire. And I think you will be extremely happy with the upper portion of those 8. They're really, really great, experienced people.
So last meeting, Chief, you said that there were 2 openings at that point. So 2 of those 8, if there's still 2 openings, would get those jobs.
So I can update you on that. So there are two official openings right now. The problem is we were notified by Old Orchard Junior High that they no longer want to have a school resource officer. So our authorized strength of officers is going to go down from 115 to 114. So one of those spots is going to go away. So now we have 1. We also are told that District 219, the 2 high schools, is in the process of deciding whether or not they want their school resource officers. They are supposed to decide that this month, hopefully sooner rather than later. And if they decide they don't want them, we're also going to have a reduction of 2 more, which is going to take us from 115 to, or 114 to 112. And we'll actually have one officer over strength, if that makes sense. We'll have to wait for future openings.
Okay, but in future openings, and if these 8 people are still on the list, they would get first choice over any other person that we do from the recruitment. Is that correct?
I believe you get the choice of who you want to select
right
off either list.
We would make that decision.
Okay.
You have any upcoming retirements in the next 6 months?
There's a few individual younger officers talking about, and I know are looking in other states just because of what's happening in Illinois. And nothing's for sure. I just know there's some that are looking. There are some retirements. I'm confident in the next 6 months we'll have more positions open. I don't think it'll be a lot, but I do think there'll be some.
Okay.
Chief, just a quick question. As far as the individuals that you met with, were they on other lists? I mean, how did that work? I mean, they're going to not be hanging around? I would think not. Or
well, there's a lot of departments that are going or either have or going through lateral processes like we are. So there's definitely other openings out there. I've seen advertisements by other departments. So I think you're correct that you know, there's certainly a possibility that they'll be hired by somebody else if we take too long.
Yeah.
But I also think the ones at the top really have some solid roots in the Skokie community. So I'm hoping that helps keep them around.
Great.
Okay. Any other questions for Chief Baker? So you know who's up next? Our fire chief.
So we're moving along with the fire lieutenant promotional process. Things are going well. We're getting appreciate the help from Deborah Stinson, our HR director, and our agency TPS, who's the vendor that we're using for conducting the assessment center portion of the process and the written exam as well. We're currently preparing for the peer review and promotional potential ratings, and also the assessment center, which is scheduled for June 8th and 9th. And then following that would be the oral interviews. And I truly appreciate all of you giving your time. I know it's a lot to be scheduled for 27 applicants to conduct all those interviews. And I really appreciate you doing that for us on a short time frame. It does appear that we will have some promotions coming up here in the very near future. We have one captain and one lieutenant who have submitted their retirement papers. And so the timing is pretty much right on course that we'll be filling a captain position and lieutenant position shortly after our list is completed.
Thank you. Any other questions for Chief? With none, our new business, we have the police officer entry-level recruitment process. Is that back to you, Chief Baker?
I'm guessing that's Deborah. Did you put that on
Yeah,
there?
yes, I could talk about that. We're in the process of starting that. We've set a date for the test, which will be July 24th. Right now, we are trying to find a space, a location to actually conduct the exam. And there's going to be construction at Niles High School, which is typically where we would do it. So I'm looking at some other venues with regard to the testing process. But we're pretty much ready to go. The packets are already prepared. They've been sent to our testing resource, IO Solutions. So once we finalize the location of the test site, then we'll be ready to move forward with that.
Okay, thank you.
May I just ask, historically, how many people normally sign up for the exam? Deborah, you may not know, but
actually, I do.
Yeah. I love that. I know you know everything, so go ahead.
No, not quite. Typically about 100. So that's what I'm telling the venues, is that we're expecting perhaps 100 people.
Okay, great.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Any other business for open session? If not, Section 2, Paragraph C1 of the State of Illinois Open Meetings Act, a closed session is requested and to adjourn therefrom. We are adjourned and we'll see you in executive session.